It's Thursday, June 13th on the mayor's office.
Because we just had number 5 starters as our one. And you think you're just going to piece that together and look at the lineup we have? No, dude, great pitching always beats great hitting. Always.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom, coming in hot, Chinchy. What's going on, brother?
What's up, dude? You got your Fordham shirt on?
Bro, this is my Ford. I was telling Carly this morning. Obviously, my daughter's going to Carlin. She got this shirt like last year, and it either makes you look jacked or like you need to clean up your diet. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
so this is the shirt that like right now, like it's fitting me perfect. Like I'm like, okay, I'm locked in. I'm locked into what I'm doing. Locked into my protocol. This is called the protocol shirt.
I get it. Yeah.
If this shirt's a little, this is the one shirt that I have 8 million like shirts, t-shirts, but this is the one shirt where you're like, all right,
yes,
it's going well. Do you have one of those shirts?
I have like 2. I have a shirt and I have a pair of shorts too. It's like the state of the union for your body when you can fit into it.
Right. Exactly. It's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got that. I got those too. And then when you know you're kind of a little out of shape, you're like, I'm not putting that. I'm not even going to try it on.
Or those jeans. You're like, I ain't putting those jeans on. I'm going with the elastic pants tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we got a kind of a history-making moment yesterday in the old Pads game.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, let's not forget we have so many good young players in the game, and the center fielder out there in San Diego, Jackson Merrill, man, this kid's a baller.
Yeah, he
can flat out play, man. And anytime you see history done in baseball, you have to respect it because it's over 150 years this game, has been being played. And when you see a guy that for a first, Jackson Merrill was the youngest player ever to have a multi-homer game and then a walk-off homer. And he walked it off against Mason Miller as one of the nastiest closers in the game. And he hit his slider. I wonder if Mason Miller wants that slider back. It ended up in the nitro zone, down and in, and Jackson Merrill, turned on it, crushed it. And he said he blacked out. But what is he? 21 years old in 54 days.
Yep.
So he's the youngest guy to ever – he's the youngest Padre to author a game-ending home run.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting with the 2 home run. Merrill became the youngest player all time to record 2 home runs in a game, with one of them at a walk-off blast.
Yeah.
This is a name – I don't think we've talked about Jackson Merrill on this, but, the guy came up, drafted as a shortstop. It's funny. You go back to the draft he was in, because I know around here a lot of Pirate fans are like, they took Henry Davis at 1. They're like, okay, who else was in that draft?
Right.
Jackson Merrill was in that draft. They're like, Jackson Merrill, I think he went like 17. I don't know exactly where he went, but it was later in the draft.
Yeah.
And, he's one of those guys you look at now and you go, oh, man, you could have that guy playing center field for you for the rest of his career. So shout out to Jackson Merrill, man. Big walk-off home run for the Padres, but also making Major League Baseball history, which we love here on the mayor's office.
Yeah, anybody that can debut at 20 years old is probably a pretty decent-sized prospect.
Exactly.
Hitting 279 so far this rookie campaign. That's pretty legit for a young kid.
And also, too, don't forget, came up as a shortstop, moved to a center fielder. I mean, what an athlete that you at that level can play professionally as short, and then they say, you know what, if you want to be on this club or you go to the next level, you're going to play center field.
Unbelievable. Yeah. First round, 27th overall pick.
27th overall. What year was that? 19?
2021.
2021. And then do you have the draft list? Was Henry Davis the first? I think Henry Davis was the first overall pick in 2021 because, I think people around here are like, you're one. You can't miss on 1-1, dude.
No, I know.
You can't miss 1-1. I don't care if you're trying to save money or what. You get the first overall pick. Why do you think the Orioles are where they're at? Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, they've nailed some 1-1s.
Yep.
You go back and look at the Nationals, Strasburg, Harper. Mm-hmm. obviously those were generational type players. But hey, listen, this last year with the Pirates, they nailed Skeens because they were thinking Dylan Cruz.
Yeah, big
Can you
time.
imagine if they took Dylan Cruz instead of Skeens? Oh man,
No. You're right. Henry Davis, number 1. That was Jack Leiter, number 2.
yeah.
Tigers took Jackson Jobe. Red Sox, Marcelo Mayer.
Marcelo Mayer, yep.
Colton Cowser for the O's. Does a top 5 right there.
There's and Colton Cowser's having a great year with the O's. So there's a lot of guys in that draft that turned out. But that's what I'm saying. If you're 1-1, I know they said there was no clear-cut guys, but that's where, you got to come in and make sure you nail that, So Jackson Merrill's in that draft. Always popped in my head like Jackson Merrill was sitting there at 27.
That's great. You got to make those picks. You're right. That's how you do it. Man.
Yeah. Dude, I got one other thing I was thinking of really quick before we
go. Shot out of a cannon this morning.
I'm doing kind of like, I'm getting ready for Breakthrough Pro 4, July 14th. It starts. So, getting my stuff down and my plan and stuff like that. And I had a thought, because when you think of Aaron Judge, and the start that Judgey started off with in April, how everyone was like, oh man, he's getting booed. He got booed one night.
He got booed.
Actually booed at Yankee Stadium. And Judgey's such a savage mentally. He's like, I get it. I'd boo myself now too, because he knows he was going to get it going. He knows this is how the game goes. Also too, I'd like to go back and look at when he got ejected, what his numbers are since then. I think that's when he started kind of like going, taking off. So you wonder if that Judgey's a guy who plays with some chips on it. He's looking for the chips to kind of go to that next level. So I thought that was interesting. But I thought of this change. I wanted to run this by you and run it by our listeners because I think it's great. What we want so much is we want success, right? We want to do everything right. We want perfection, right? And that never works. It's like, I think it's always progress over perfection. You're always striving for perfection, knowing you're never going to get there, but being content with your response to that. Hey man, I'm getting after it. I'm doing everything I can. I'm putting it all on the line, right? And like, I'm just missing, but that's okay because I'm striving for that perfection. So think about this, and I think of it about Judgey because we're looking at as close to perfection as you can get right now as a baseball player, which he's, still just hitting over 300. So that means he's failing 70% of the time. Mm-hmm. So say you had a guy, anyone out there, say a guy like Michael Jordan or Aaron Judge. Say you're a guy like Aaron Judge. Let's say Aaron Judge got a hit every single time. So, guys, first guy to ever hit 1,000. He's figured it out. He homers every other game. So he's hitting, almost 100 homers a game. He either gets a hit or walks. He never gets out. Aaron Judge has figured it out so much, he never gets out, right? He homers a lot, he walks, or he gets a hit. Okay. So we're so bent out of shape in society sometimes about failures and mistakes people make and all that stuff. Wasn't that the point? Isn't the point is to make mistakes, to have the confidence to go out and take action? And if you fail, you gain information. I always say it's win or learn. What did I learn here, right? What did I learn? What failure brought me information? So when you look at Judgey, you go, in that first month, what failures and mistakes did he have that brought him the information that right now he's the hottest player on the planet? And the point being this, if a guy succeeded all the time and never got out and did everything perfect, would you want him on your team? No. Why would you want him on your team? A guy that hit if a guy came in and he never missed a three-pointer, if Steph Curry was a guy who came in the league and didn't miss a three-pointer, that's not fun. Like, no. It's cool for a little bit, but then like, this guy doesn't miss. That's not fun.
It's funny you say that. I got stressed out during Volpe's hit streak because I'm like, just get out one game so you don't have to think about this hit streak because it's too much. It's too much to handle. The success is almost too much to handle sometimes. You need the failure, right?
You need the failure. But that's what it's about. That's what life's about. That's what sports are about. But we're so nervous to fail. And in society too, people want to get on you for failing. But meanwhile, if you don't take action and you don't put yourself out there, it's the whole man in the arena. Like, get out there, be the man in the arena in your life. Like, go take action. Don't just sit back and go, oh man, one of these days. No, one of these days is today. Go do what you want to do. Go get the job that you want to get. Go be the parent that you want to be. Go, in sports, keep putting in the work, keep getting after it. Because at the end of the day, when you look back, it's the failure and the mistakes that's where the growth is.
Yeah.
So like I said, man, if a guy just came out and and Michael Jordan made every 3-pointer, dude, why do we love Michael Jordan? He missed more game-winning shots than he made over his career, but we remember the ones he made, but he remembers the one he missed, and he got so much information on, okay, maybe it's I gotta drive on this guy better. Man, last time I gotta get more space so I can make that shot against Utah. He had information to make those game-winning shots. We remember his greatness, but he remembers the ones he missed, but he took them. He took the shots. He took action, right? Like, it's not all about being perfect all the time. It's not all about succeeding in everything that you do. It ain't happening. Take the shots. A swinging bat's a dangerous bat. Like Wayne Gretzky said, you got to be out there and play the games and take the shots to be the all-time leading scorer, So I just love that. And I think of it with Judgy because he's as perfect right now as you can get, but still obviously getting out. And at the end of the day, if Aaron Judge was perfect and was batted 1,000 and hit home runs every time up, we'd be like, that's not fun. So embrace the failure, embrace the mistakes. Don't look at it as information. Look at it as a success. If you go out and you take action and you don't get the results you want, who cares? You're eventually moving the needle, and that's the great thing about life, dude, at the end of the day.
I love it. Great point, man. And I'm pulling up an article right here to solidify your point. It was on April 26, 2024. That's at the end of the first month of this season. Aaron Judge at the time was hitting 186 with 4 home runs, a 6.93 OPS. And then it says the low came last Saturday when he earned a golden sombrero against the Tampa Bay Rays. And after the 4th strikeout, was booed at home. Here's his quote. It's a long season. I've had seasons where I start off worse than this in my career. I've had seasons where you start off hot and then you always hit a rough patch where you hit about 150 in a whole month. You got to keep working. You got to keep improving, and we'll get out of it. That's your point right there.
There you go, dude. And I think the biggest thing is how you respond to your failures and mistakes. Do the failures and mistakes dictate who you are? So you go in the corner, oh, I can't believe that happened. Or do you respond like that, like a true mental giant, like we can all do in life and say, hey, it's all good. It's not working out the way I am now, but I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep moving the needle, and eventually it's going to work out.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
Let's apply those mechanics to the Seattle Mariners right now, okay? Because they are winning. They are winning games. They're doing well in a lot of facets of the game, except when they have a baseball bat in their hand. As of today, as of this morning, they are 28th in Major League Baseball with a .222 batting average. And then they are, let's go here, 5th from the bottom with a 300 on-base percentage, Sean. So this is a team that is fighting every single night to win baseball games, and they are. They're getting it done as well as they can. But what's your take on?
Well, they're 10 games over 500, dude. They've won 4 in a row. They have a ton of walk-offs this year too. I had another one last night. Mitch Haniger came in and a pinch hit walk-off hit. Mm-hmm. Well, this is the point. The point is, you want to win at the big league level, you got to be great on the bump. And Jerry DiPoto over there in Seattle has done a great job of trading for Luis Castillo. Kirby in that rotation. Woo's been really good. Miller's been really good. There's one other guy I'm forgetting too. But they have a legit, 5 horses in that rotation, right? And then the bullpen's been good too. So they pitch it. So you look at the Mariners and go, man, their offense is terrible, but they have a ton of walk-off hits. Why? Because pitching keeps you in games. So you look at the Mariners, dude, these guys are 40-30. They're 10 games above 500. They've won 4 in a row, and they're doing it, basically saying we know that you win with great pitching. Jerry DiPoto being a pitcher himself, you win with great pitching. So it's an impressive, and I think, Chinch, it's sustainable. They went out and signed Mitch Garver. They went out, Julio Rodriguez really hasn't gotten hot yet. Doing his thing. They win 2-1 last night. You go down. J.P. Crawford's hitting 211. Rojas has been pretty good this season, not bad. But Rodriguez is under a 700 OPS. Even Cal Raleigh's at a 700, 212. Luke Raley's been a bright spot who they got in Tampa in a trade in the offseason. Mitch Garver's hitting 176. He was their big sign. And Mitch can hit. I mean, he just hasn't gotten going yet. So, like, up and down this lineup, dude, Mitch Haniger's hitting 223 with a 631 OPS. So, like, at the end of the day, they're 40-30. If this isn't a blueprint for how you really win in the big leagues, nothing. Dude, I go back to the Reds. Like we had me, Adam Dunn, Austin Kearns, Ken Griffey Jr., Dimitri Young, Barry Larkin. We're talking a couple Cooperstown guys here.
Yep.
Jason LaRue was a good player. Ryan Friel was good. We had some. We were winning. We were the best offense in baseball. You go back and look at some of those years. We were tops in tons in almost every category. Right. Mm-hmm. We were 20 games below 500 every year. Why? Because we just had number 5 starters as our one. And you think you're just going to piece that together and look at the lineup we have? No, dude. Great pitching always beats great hitting. Always.
Yeah, that's so true.
And every once in a while you have a great, hitter get into a great pitcher, obviously. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the pitching, you're not winning in the show, bro. Over 162, you might make a run. I remember in 2004, I go back to a conversation at the All-Star game when they interviewed Matt Morris. It might have been the All-Star game somewhere, but Matt Morris, and they asked him about, hey, what's the Central look like? The Astros, yourselves, the Reds. And I remember him saying, remember, we're in first place. We're not really worried about the Reds. The Reds are going to fade. He goes, they don't have the pitching. He goes, the Astros, and it goes down, when they had, Oswalt and Pettit and Clemens, you know what I mean? And I remember that was so telling. I remember I was a little pissed off, like, dude, what does Matt Morris know? And blah, 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 blah. We're the team that's in first place. He was right. We didn't have the horses. And we faded in the second half. I think we ended up last. But we were all having big years, in 04. Our offense was on fire. And, dude, we didn't have the pitching. And that's the truth, man. Over 162. You can get hot for a few months, but over 162, you show your hand in the big leagues. And if you don't have the guys on the bump, you ain't winning.
That year, your team gave up 51 more earned runs than the next worst pitching staff. And you gave up the most home runs in baseball by 12. 200.
There we go.
Baseball.
There we go.
236 home runs you guys gave up in 162 games.
Jeez, dude. Balls were flying out at an epic rate. It was like a fireworks show every night.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. Holy cow. And you were at the bottom of the league in strikeouts. Wow, that's a good point, man.
And but we were first at the break, dude. We only had 2.5 months to go to win a division title, and it didn't work out.
And when you needed to go out and get pitching. So on the flip side,
yes.
What do the M's got to do? They got to go out and get hitting. I don't know. Pete Alonso.
I love Rich Cincinnamino loves
to leave the Mets.
I know. No, you don't want him to leave the Mets. Yeah, he's a bat that every team could use. And at the end of the day, the teams that get into the postseason will be the teams that have the best pitchers on the bump, the best pitchers. Now they need good hitting, right? To go against good pitching, because that one swing of the bat could win you a World Series championship. Pete Alonso is one of those guys that hits good pitching and is one swing of the bat away from, making a 3-run homer to making a game 4-3 or whatever.
I mean, you look at the teams at the top of the standings everywhere. You got Stanton in the towards the middle back end of the lineup for the Yankees. For the Phillies, you got Schwarber at the leadoff spot at any given moment, 3-run homer.
Right.
Given moment.
Right. Yep. Gunnar Henderson, 21 bombs, leadoff. Yeah.
How about that pitching staff up there in Seattle? If they have a 5-6 run cushion for a few games of the week, how much better they're going to be in the games that are tight. And
exactly.
It's not a bad thing. And by the way, if you're the Mets, don't be afraid to trade Alonso and try to get him back in the offseason, because their offense over the past 3 weeks, the Mets, is second in Major League Baseball. I mean, they're hitting the ball. Lindor's starting to hit the ball, and they're getting their ace back in Senga. They just got their catcher back. That's big for their offense, Alvarez. So I don't know. This is a funky time of year, man. Your boy Jim Bowden had his list of like all the team needs for every team in baseball. He must sit around and do that stuff.
Dude,
like,
Bowden's the
day.
best. We got to get Bowden on. I just talked to him the
Let's
other
do
day.
that.
We got to get Bowden on. Bowden's the best, dude, as far as like he has every insider. He knows more information than anybody out there. He's got so many contacts.
Right.
Dude, when you talk about the Mets, dude, Harrison Bader, though, I love my man Bader. I was with him last year with New York. I just love it. He's swinging it and hitting the ball at the ballpark recently. His 4th homer the other day. So I love it.
Mendy messes with the lineup. Put him in a 2-hole. He moved Door to the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
Pete's back to 3 or 4 in the lineup.
Martinez is at 3, Alonso 4, Marte 5. This is a good lineup right now.
It's
at least that right there. And Alvarez is back, the catcher.
Yes, he's been back. And to give your boy Mendy credit, man, he's made some moves where it's like, all right, things aren't working. I am confident enough, even as a first year manager, to make the moves I have to move. Jeff McNeil is platooning at second base. The guy was a batting champion.
Well, at the end of the day, bro, I mean, this ain't the Al Tri League. It's not the Al Tri League. This is the either get it done league or you're out of here league. So, or your platoon. You know, Jeff McNeil's got close to a low 6 OPS. So,
yeah, that's what you got.
You got to get it going.
Yeah. One more team I want to hit on. Dude, the Baltimore Orioles. If you are any other year, any other division, like the Orioles would be the team we're talking about, the way we're talking about the Yankees, but they're in the same division. However, they're only 2 games back, dude.
Yeah, they've won 6 in a row too. So we look at the Yankees, 49-21, won 4 in a row. Baltimore's won 6 in a row. They're still 2.5 back, 45-22, right below the Phillies. So it goes Yankees, Phillies, O's.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're right, man. They're they're a really good team. They pitch it really well. That Corbin Burns acquisition was a great thing. Got so many good young players in that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Even with Santander in there too, kind of being that veteran bat. So that's an impressive team, and that's going to be a great race, dude. The Yankees and Baltimore will come down to the end. I really believe that because to be where they're both at, they're staying power in what they've done.
Yeah, and the Orioles now have a track record. They believe in themselves. They've been here. They've proven that they're one of the more elite teams in the American League. They're leading the majors in home runs. That's more than the Yankees. 2 more homers than the Yankees with 106. They are second to the Yankees in RBIs with 335. They crush the baseball, dude.
Yeah.
And in that ballpark, it's fun. That's a fun team. You cannot mess with them.
Nah, they're good, dude. Yeah, it's fun, man. Hey, man, there's so many good stories right now in baseball, and I just love it, man. I love the young guys like Jackson Merrill. Love the great teams like the O's, what the Mariners doing. Not everybody does it the same way, so it's fun to kind of dive into it. Today has been a good one, Chenchi. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah, me too. And I'm still so excited because there's so many teams still in it with the way that the playoffs structure. We hammer at least once a week this playoff structure. There are teams that could get in. We mentioned the Pirates yesterday. Pirates get in with that pitching staff. You're scared as hell to face them. Yep. The entire National League is just crumbled up into one little tight fitting spot for the races, the wild cards. Everybody's in it. The teams that aren't in it start selling now, dude. Just get them. Let's go here.
Get some prospects back.
White Sox, let's go. Like, come on. Rockies never trade anybody. That's one of the worst things in the world. Yeah. I mean, if the Rockies maybe have traded, like Rockies traded too low, too late. The Rockies trade everybody too late. They never traded Charlie Blackmon at the time. The Rockies could have look at these other teams that build from the bottom up. And you know what? The one last thing I'll say is fans understand if you have to rebuild now. Back in like the 80s and 90s, if you traded away your star, the back pages are like, they gave up. Nobody cares. Now I'm telling you, there's more people who understand baseball. MLB Network helped with that. And you hear it all the time. And guys like us coming on and talking, it's like, hey, we're not here right now. Blow it up.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
Prospects are. Let's go.
It's smart to do it. Yeah. And you know what? Some teams are better than others than nailing those trades. A lot of times you look back, you're like, you traded Garrett Cole and you got, we got nothing back. Like look at the Pirates. I mean, Musgrove was pretty good, but not like a game changer. Who's the Colin Moran they got at third?
Mm.
And they got one other guy. And just like, what?
And where's Chris Archer now? Oh,
Yeah, Chris Archer. Yeah, that was for Glass now, Meadows, and Baz. Yeah, I'm talking about when they traded Garrett. They had Garrett Cole. They had Garrett Cole and Glass now, and Jamison Tyone. Oopsies.
that is a big oops.
That's a whole nother story, brother. All right, man. Listen, man. Great show today, bro. Great seeing you. And everyone out there, thanks for listening. Tons. Really appreciate you, and we will see everybody tomorrow. Chinchy, see you, buddy, man.
I'm gonna go fail. I'm gonna go fail and
Go
win.
fail and take action. Whatever you need, take action, dude. Get that pool ready.
Let's go.